Hello, good evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hi, Arson. Thank you for being first. I hope everyone's having a good week so far. Oh my lord. Sorry, I'm just exhausted, as always. But also, I did start stream a little later than usual today, mostly because I was hanging out on my friend's stream. I think he's streaming a little longer than he should be today. I haven't paid much attention to his schedules usually, but it turns out he's a rhythm game streamer, so it makes sense. But it turns out he usually dedicates his Wednesdays to playing rhythm games. Hold on, let me verify. I stop by his streams when I can, but uh, mm, uh, yeah, no, well, no, Wisdom Wednesday. Okay, well, I guess he usually plays rhythm games on Wednesday, unless he just started making Wednesdays his rhythm game days, which case I totally get that. But hold on, let me give him a shout out. Make sure this is the correct person to shout out. Got it. Awesome. Okay. Jito is currently not playing the rhythm game anymore, but he was checking out a rhythm game that I guess is featured on Steam's current... Is it Next Fest? I think it's Steam's current... Well, it's currently out as a demo. Is it Next Fest right now? I have no idea what... No, Next Fest is over. I'm just stupid. Okay. I guess it came out during Next Fest, but it's a demo for a game called Off the Text. So it's a rhythm game. It's a typing-focused rhythm game, and it's a really fascinating one because it's a rhythm game that's about typing, and I'm like, oh, okay. So it's funny because the developer markets it as you have 40 different keys that you're playing this rhythm game with, and it's like, oh, okay. It's pretty fun. As someone who doesn't, who A, does not play rhythm games, and B, is bad at rhythm games, it's pretty fun. And I couldn't help but be a little absorbed into it that I even played through the demo a little bit. And of course, playing through it, I was like, oh, what if I like play it on stream tonight? But I can't do that because we have to do world building writing. We have to do world building writing. We can't do that. No gaming. No more gaming. Oh, first yawn of the night. But yes, I am doing all right, Arson. Thank you for asking. Tired as usual. I'm literally always tired. But yeah, fun rhythm game. It's the aesthetic, the visuals, the aesthetics. Sorry, I didn't mention the aesthetics and the visuals of the game are really striking because it's like VHS, 80s, 90s, and that's what really fucking pulls me in because that is like my favorite aesthetic and graphic design, my passion, literally. Well, it's not my passion, it's my job, but it's very pretty. If not throwing visual accessibility out of the window for a game that really depends on UI, because rhythm games really depend on UI until you get really good at reading. I just learned the term reading because I talked about this game in a server and you're like, oh yeah, reading. And I was like, reading as a rhythm game term? But I also like understood what they were meaning by saying reading. But I don't play rhythm games much at all. I think the only rhythm games I've ever played like on stream, for y'all's reference, would be like Rhythm Doctor and then Melatonin. And those ones were fine, but that's only some rhythm game. Those rhythm games I'm like okay with, like Melatonin is like Rhythm Heaven, except it's more complicated, and the fact that it's more complicated makes it a lot harder for me. And then Rhythm Doctor, you have, for the most part, visuals to keep time. It most importantly is just keeping time as you play through a stage in a rhythm game, and Rhythm Doctor does that pretty well. Even with the 7-8 time signature, I think it was 7-8. The special, that one boss level, because I think Rhythm Doctor is actually like out now. I played it quite a few years back on stream, before I debuted as Bonnie. Oh no, it comes out officially finally this December. Yeah, I played it like, I think 2022? I don't think it was 2021, but I played it while it was still in early access, and I played the stage where it gives you an irregular time signature, and that one was okay for me, but that's only for the most part because I do dance and I make music. I have some semblance of keeping time and rhythm. But otherwise, the harder stages in any sort of rhythm game are too much for me. I've never tried Osu. I thought about it, and I don't think I do very good at it. DDR, physical rhythm games are usually pretty bad because as a dancer, it's really hard to coordinate physical movements based on abstractions. Especially if I can't keep time, especially. And also because generally when it comes to dance, you're more... I guess the part that would transfer over would be the fact that you're memorizing a sequence of things, more so than necessarily working on reflexes, because I feel like whenever I've watched old friends play Osu, it was a lot of like, they're memorizing like how the notes work and like sequences in the stage or the level or their song that they're doing, so that they can be prepared for like what's coming up ahead, you know, like they're not like, they get a hang on reading and know what to read, to know what parts to read in order to know which specific parts, like, oh, there's going to be these types of notes coming up, or I'm going to do the spinny thing, which, okay, thank you, Osu, that sort of thing. I guess that would be like the only thing that would transfer over, because for dance, unless you're like doing mostly like freestyling and dance battles, if you're learning choreography and performing choreography, doing performance that is not freestyle, then you will need to obviously memorize. And usually memorize in like kind of like collection of moves. Sorry, I was gonna say verses, but I was like, what if it's not like... I guess verses would be the best way to describe it. You're memorizing in verses, and that you're learning a bunch all at once. You're learning in sections. You're learning in sections at a time. And then usually the thing that'll trip you up is when you learn in sections, you need to learn how a section ties or transitions into the next section. And that can usually be the tough part if you're not ready for that. But with a lot of muscle memory, which I think also applies to playing rhythm games, with a lot of practice, because I've been on and off with dance now for like the past 5 years, ever since the pandemic first began. But it's been about a full decade of me being into dance, whether being on dance teams or just as a hobby nowadays. But the more you do it, the better you kind of build your common dance sense, and it's also just reliant on things like foundations and stuff, like if you're able to do foundational moves as easily or not. Because then sometimes those foundations, those fundamentals can help you learn how to do what looks like complicated moves but become really simple and easy when you break it down into like, oh, these are the arm, these are the leg movements, and so forth. And of course, rhythm games would be the same way. You'll be given series of notes and stuff and ways to complete the notes based on if your rhythm game has like weird controls and stuff. But oh right, there's a cue for that. But thank you, Arsen. Let's see if that'll work, because I remember I had to fix that in my chatbot a while back, because it turned out I bugged something in my code a while back. But it looks like it has been fixed now. Anyways. Dance and rhythm games have some overlap, but because of what I know as a dancer only, I can only say that rhythm games are more tough for me to play. Which speaking of all of this that I really want to start filming dance covers again, or at least do short form videos of me doing K-pop. Is that how I should say it for twice speak. I am not sure. Anyway, I am still learning dances now, and I think that's because I am surrounding myself with people that do dance, particularly at my maid and butler cafe company, but also K-pop has a lot of bangers in the past few years, albeit with quite a bit of drama. Now you want a compliment. Okay. Unfortunately, Arson, I don't know you quite well compared to some of my acquaintances and friends that I have done compliments for. But I will say that you seem like a cool fellow, and I think it's pretty cool that you are able to do stuff like hacking in a Roblox game, or rather multiple Roblox games. I feel like maybe that's just my perspective because I don't do any sort of body modding or hacking at all. I've installed mods for games and stuff, but making actual mods and the like is something that is beyond my expertise. But you're cool and a friendly fellow. It's always a good time whenever you pop in our chat, and I thank you for chilling with us at the inn. So far. Thank you. because I don't know you very well slash you are not particularly acquainted with my brand of humor, specifically the way I do compliments. I will refrain from doing the termination. I don't know what word I am looking for to explain this. My usual sign off whenever I do compliments. I have like a particular sign off that I usually do whenever I do compliments, because I'm kind of standoffish whenever I do compliments for people. So I can kind of be like jokingly like about it. But I don't want to do that because obviously you are not. You are new in our lovely inn, and I do not want to give you that sort of jump scare. But thank you for the twice speak, and for redeeming the compliment. I'll go ahead and hydrate now. Drink water. I think now's a good time to go ahead and shift over. Let me go ahead and shift over here. It's been a while since we used this screen, but I figure we might as well, you know, have a little bit of difference between me being behind and in front of the counter. So this time I'll just be behind the counter as we do some writing. This time, thank you, qotd from last week. We will be using Obsidian to write our documents. Okay, OBS, don't die, please. PC, don't die. Be nice, stay alive. Staying alive, staying alive. Obsidian's gonna take a moment to load up, and then I actually have to wait for it to switch, because I actually did start porting over my passion project world building, so I do need to switch vaults on Obsidian. But no worries, Arson, thank you for stopping by, for chilling with us briefly. Have a good rest of your day. Take care. Have a good rest of your week too, since I won't be streaming until Saturday. Okay. Sorry, I just saw a Discord notification for some music that one of the streamers I follow just shared, and the band name is interesting, and I was like, okay, I'm going to ignore this. Oh my god, oh wow. Whoa, Obsidian got updated, okay. What the heck? Bases, okay, I'm not familiar with this stuff. Okay, thank you. Okay, hold on. I had to switch vaults. Thank you. Close. Open. Okay, hold on. Oh, my lord. Okay, we're good. We're good. I think we're good. Okay, awesome. Okay. I'm gonna turn off our chatting music because I would like to play music from YouTube Music while we work on stuff. I mean, hold on. Music volume check on the music. Cool. Sexy slay. Okay. And then let me update our window capture. OBS, don't freeze on me. Please. There we go. It's Obsidian. Say hello to Obsidian. Wow. Oh, I just accidentally opened a new. Okay. Hold. Okay. So this is Obsidian. Again, thank you to Vivi for showing me, or for telling me about this. Informing me that Google Docs is instead still doing scraping, AI scraping. I was misinformed, unfortunately. Okay, hold on. I need to get my chat open on my phone. Oh, also, I am using the writing category this time around, just to be nice. But yeah, I ported over mostly the stuff that we've like talked about and rewritten and remastered from last week. So for this week, what? Oh, maybe I closed by accident. For this week, we'll kind of be continuing what we were writing last week and figure out what new stuff we want to add. And after doing some writing or some work with Obsidian for my personal project, I have a better sense of how I want things to kind of be organized. Hold on. Why are these two connected? Okay, no, that's fair. Okay. I did a lot of like page connecting with links on my personal project, and then I decided that I would say fuck off because I personally felt like it was clogging up the graph view. And to me, at the same time, it was also kind of like I should not be making reference links to every single term that's used, especially if it's not as heavily related to the specific topic at hand. Like Fireborn, so for example, Fireborn is fine to link to Fire Magic because that's very relevant, but it's very not as relevant if I were to link it. It is linked here to the progenitor, which is about Bonnie, but that's also like it would be a stretch if I used this to like talk about the left eye manner in the in the lens of a fire elemental, a fireborn runs the inn, therefore there should be a link. That's too far of a degree of like separation, I guess. That's very vague and can't really be immediately explained in comparison, I guess. So it has to be like I have to be very I have to exercise a lot more restraint and discipline and knowing when to like I guess I can hold on. Yeah, I have to exercise a lot more restraint in where I put links and stuff, and I haven't looked at this since I ported it over and whatnot. Oh my god, please, this. Hold on. Oh my god, not focus playing already. Ugh, time to get a cunty. I cannot focus on anything but you, baby. Sorry, okay. Um, I think there's a lot of things we can write here. For transients that register as travelers at the end. Oh, there's a paragraph here. Hold on. We had to like actually put a descriptive. So I'm gonna go through all these first and kind of make sure that these all have like Wikipedia level quick explanation paragraphs. So this should say the Left Eye Manor Inn is a small hotel run by Bonnie Sojourner in a forest themed liminal space of the outer bound. Now this is where I would actually I'm going to use Control K to put in this link. And then we have to type in %20 outer bound. We're going to destroy this link because now it's linked there. I don't know how to undo links like that. Um, oh, wait. There's stuff here talking about magic. We can actually move this into this paragraph. I can do this. Talk about the forest first. The forest surrounding the inn is unorthodox in nature, occasionally displaying non-Euclidean spatial properties that cause new transients to get lost easily due to the high amount of foot traffic in this liminal space. It is theorized that the quantity of incidents in the liminal, or hold on. It is theorized that the high foot traffic in this liminal space as a result of the inn and its magic causes a higher amount of anomalous incidents in the space. That's sad to say. It's because of all of y'all. Okay. That's pretty good. Magic. This is fine. This one is fine. We can honestly delete this. This is not as important. The progenitor refers to Bonnie Sojourner's Bonnie and Smokey Sojourner's identity prior to their psyche splitting in half. All the spell check, okay. All that is known is that the progenitor was human. Not retaining the fire magic because there may not be magic in our original universe, so instead we could say while combining with ambient fire magic to form Fireborn like. Incorrect. It is quite literally Fireborn. Okay, we have to be pretty descriptive with the magic sections. That we've greeted, experienced versus. Cool. Okay. I do not remember the tones on Wuxing. Oh, god damn it. Hi, Flipped Orbit. Hello. Happy Wednesday slash Thursday to you. Welcome into a writing session. Week 2. We're here in Obsidian now for world building stuff, and I'm kind of trying to just tidy up these articles because I've done a lot of I ported over personal world building project stuff also. I have a better idea as to how I want to use Obsidian and kind of do my writing style with Obsidian. I'm kind of trying to make everything match. So now I have to like I already have 3 elements of divination magic done. Okay, it's fine. We're just going to I think I remember my ideas for the magic system from last week after the first session. So hopefully I can put this down. But we're gonna start by doing introductory paragraphs, as each page should have, with a, sensibly like a wiki page. Sorry, I was like, should I say Wikipedia or not? Like a wiki page, like a wiki or Wikipedia. Okay, so wood divination. Wood divination. Wood divinatory magic. Relies on the communication with plant life to obtain intel on one's surroundings. Should link back. Right. Cool. I guess it's not case sensitive, so maybe that's something I should keep in mind, because sometimes maybe I'm just silly. Okay. Should it be consists of or operates through? Maybe that's better wording. Operates through communication with plant life to obtain intel on one's surroundings. Um, I'm thinking. We're thinking about this. We're thinking. I'm thinking. Okay, a lot of rewriting to be done, I guess, for this. Would element divinatory magic operates through communication with plant life to obtain intel on one's surroundings. Such divination relies on asking yes or no questions to plant life and requires some amount of knowledge on some amount of botanical knowledge. Oh, that's not a M dash. Specifically, the ways that different plant species will reply to questions and which species are considered more trustworthy or more deceitful. There, that literally just merged all of that together. Awesome. What are papers usually made of? What wood is paper usually made from? Most commonly used trees for paper. Hold on, we're looking. Coniferous trees are preferred for pulp making because the cellulose fibers in the pulp of these species are longer and therefore make stronger paper. So spruce, softwoods like spruce, pine, fir, larch, hemlock, and hardwoods like eucalyptus, aspen, and birch. Oh, look at that. Aspen and birch trees are considered quite trustworthy. It's kind of convenient because visually I've depicted the end with like oak trees, aspen, and birch for the most part as like the main tree species that are around. So we can work with aspen and birch. And as such are also used reliable sources of pulp for making magic imbue or making paper intended for magical use. For manufacturing? Sure, you just say manufacturing. For manufacturing paper. Aurora. Mm, mm, mm. We could rely on real world symbolism and stuff for trees and whatnot, but I think it'd be fun if we just kind of spitball and do whatever for this. So we can make oak trees not reliable. Of note, individual plants will have some semblance of a personality and may deviate from from any recorded conclusions slash stereotypes. Probably that'll work. Hi Magic, hello. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope your week has been good so far. I think that's good for dissection, so we'll move on to water divinations. We'll do water element divinatory magic. Relies on, we're going to add a link here. Very good. Water element divinatory magic relies on or I guess is theorized to, what is the wording I used in this one? Is theorized to operate on the identification and location. Is there a different noun form for this? On the identification and locating of components and constituents down to a molecular level. The ambiguity of the ambiguity and subjectivity, or I guess, hold on. Varying levels of ambiguity and subjectivity result when using such divination. Relating to approximations and false matches. Sure. Hello, White. Hello. Hello. Did I always have this emote? what, what is this emote? Wait, hold on. Hold on. Cat with blank, thoughtless eyes staring, looking at something. List of long crimes, criminal, guilty, assault, theft, fraud. Oh, I always have lovely 7TV emotes. Anyway, hello, White. Hi, hi, hello. I'm working on world building writing, trying to get some detailed writing on this magic system for my lore specifically. What is that emote? Oh, it's wolf dance, okay. Maybe I should make a section for unexpected behaviors or an unexpected result. The most common method relies on incanting at a body of water, whether natural or artificially created. It is theorized that the water surface communes with the local water vapor. Okay, hold on. Put that later because I actually do have a note on that that is related to this. Okay. A material may be placed on the surface of the water to then find the nearest approximate match of said material. For example, I like saying for example instead. For example, rabbit fur would move toward the edge of the water surface in the direction of the closest approximate match, a live rabbit. Ideally, comma, a live rabbit. If one were searching for rabbits, they would start by placing a tuft of rabbit fur onto the water's surface. Once the divinatory ritual is complete, a tuft of fur moves toward the edge of the water surface in the direction of the closest approximate match. Ideally, in this case, a live rabbit. It is theorized that the water surface communes with the water vapor with the atmospheric ambient water vapor. find this find the nearest find the closest approximate match. This element of divination fails when okay, what changes as to examples of unexpected results. The divination fails if the closest target exceeds if the distance to the closest target to the closest match would exceed what number should we use here? 66 meters. 1 mile, 2 kilometers. We'll say 1.5 kilometers. 1.5 kilometers, in which case the divination would then start to would then defer to approximate matches instead. Closest exact match, okay. This divination fails in low humidity environments. For example, deserts. That's it. That's all I can think of. That's low humidity right now. Well ventilated offices and houses. Change this spell to water divination. Okay. This suggests that water divination can work somewhat well when given a component of high chemical complexity. Still works moderately well when given a component of high chemical complexity. I'm using component as item to match in this case, and I don't know if I should use something different from component for this. Wonder if I should write something here specifically about doing this at large bodies of water. Like a lake. Last week I was talking about like, what if you put a feather on like a lake and it just zooms across the entire lake? The divination works, but at what cost? Maybe we'll just leave it. We'll just ignore it for now. Okay, next is fire divination. Fire element, divinatory magic. Uses. Add a link, thank you. Um... Thinking about the theming for fire. I know last week I talked about it being themed on like sacrificing something for it to work, but I had to think about this one. Oh, I have a section here for the split flame, and I think there's a way we could write it differently, and then we can also write the contract slightly differently also for it to work. Trying to think. I'm thinking it would be like taking from this first one, the paired flames that point towards each other. The contract would be burning the contract, and the resulting flame points towards the closest match of the person who signed the contract. Or maybe in that case, because it's like, because the contracts would be a combination of water, wood, and fire. Water's used to write the ink, which stores. Well, I'm thinking. I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking. And we're thinking in terms of how these different elements interact together to make the contract work. Water divination means the ink reacts to water vapor to try to find the closest match for whatever you're looking with. Wood divination talks to plants. It's probably not relevant here. Hold on. I mean, it, hmm, hmm. Maybe, what if wood divination has like two types? And instead of there's primarily focuses on communication with plant life. Let's try writing it. Good luck charms. Charms may be made. Charms may be made from plants, usually trees in the form of wooden charms, wooden and paper charms, wooden figurines and paper charms. That have to place some sort of protective or luck imbuing luck imbuing. Okay, I guess I can say wooden figurines and paper charms may be manufactured to contain some sort of protective or luck imbuing charm. Paper talisman? Do I want to use the word talisman? Is that appropriate to use here culturally? I guess so. Uh, uh, oh, they're called ofuda in Japanese. Hee For For these figurines and talismans to be obtained, their constituent wood and paper must be obtained from its parental plant, from a plant with the plant function. The power of the good luck charm is highly dependent on the plant's trustworthiness, which is to which the power is proportional, and thus the effect if permission was retrieved. For which the effect is fully not negated, but fully reversed. Inversed? Wow, a 3-stream streak. Thank you, White. 3-stream streak. That's really hard to say. Is it just no one knows. Is it just love? It's not my skin to my skin. It's like it's reverse. So if you like don't get the plant's permission, it's like bad luck instead, you know, like reverse. The effect is reversed otherwise. Which I would like to put on here. Redwood trees. Or actually, let's put it at the bottom. Botanical records. And we can move these. And then I guess we can actually do this as a list. Redwood trees are considered one of the most trustworthy tree species, but are notoriously difficult to get permission from for procuring magical wood. Good luck charms made from redwood. Is redwood wood like gray? Like is that pulpy or like redwood? The quotd. Thank you, Latin. Are redwood trees good for paper? I think the answer would be yes, but we should be careful. We have to be respectful of them. High magnitudes of protective power. Cool. Awesome. And focuses on communication with plant life and protective charms made from plants. Wood element magic is both divinatory and there apo, po, apo, apotropaic and apotropaic. It focuses on communication with plant life and protective charms. Consists of has divinatory and apotropaic aspect. There. Writing's hard. Okay, now we go back to water divination. Okay. We can call this the compass made of water. Divination pointed toward, okay. Multiple divination attempt pointed toward, there we go. Okay. Now we can go back to fire divination and figure out what to do with this. I'm thinking, what if fire element divination's amplification primarily? Hmm. What if it's heat detection? So it's specifically meant to orient towards generally living things because those give off a lot of heat, right? Fire element divinatory magic relies on the detection of heat and can generally be used to detect living things as a result. Ha 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 ha. I'm so good at this, okay. Okay, this will put away for a moment. By canting a simple flame with a matchstick, one can observe how the flame flickers and pulsates in intensity when near an object, when near something giving off heat. I was about to say, what are we listening to? I said this last time too. I'm shuffling again. I think I'm like half convinced this is pretty bad at shuffling. I could be wrong. Maybe it's shuffling 187 tracks fine. YouTube music, I mean. But I don't know. Instead of this, we'll say two flames can be enchanted to gently waver in the direction of its paired flame, providing a way to reorient oneself and navigate back to the paired flame. Fire element magic also when combined with other elements works to amplify the divination. Enchanted contract. These enchanted contracts, so transients that register at the Left Eye Manor Inn sign a contract which records a copy of the now registered traveler in the paper. Sign enchanted contract through quote-unquote memories. These enchanted contracts rely on 3 different elements. Wood. Paper used for a contract must be sourced from trustworthy plants, as this will provide ample protective power to keep the tethered traveler safe. Keep the tethered traveler from accidentally crossing into a different liminal space. 2 is water and 3 is fire. Water. The magical ink. Record memories of now registered travelers. Protect them from liminal disturbances, for lack of better wording, and allow for tracking in case they get lost. The magical ink stores the most recent copy of said traveler and is the basis of the... I might take out this memory section. The flame produced by burning a contract amplifies the effect of water element of the water divination. Or, okay. Burning a contract amplifies the effect of water divination. The resulting flame will then point strongly in the direction of the traveler, even if they have crossed into even if they have fully crossed into another liminal space. This uses up the... Tracking a traveler this way uses up the contract, requiring that a new contract be signed for future safety measures to ensure the traveler's safety afterward. Hello, welcome back, Irson. We are in the midst of heavy writing. Oh, burping. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Oh god, it's not the blue tasting. I guess we should write potions back into the world building, huh? Okay. Okay, well now we have to think how the elements work with potion making. Obviously, the element of water is required. Fire is there. I think it'd be wood primarily, because it'd probably be relying on using herbs and stuff, because wood divination is the one that it's either about communication with plants or specifically about making good luck charms. So it's harvesting particular plants that are known to have good levels of trustworthiness and or protective components, or high capacity for protective magic. So then we'd have to do like updating the botanical record section with what plants are good for potion making. Would we put potion making here? Or I think potion making should be a separate page entirely. So I think here we should say the apotropaic nature of plants of wood magic extends to potion making, which relies on using herbs and the like. Into a drinkable concoction. Into a drinkable, but not necessarily tasty concoction. And then we can turn this into a page that we that we will figure out later. Ta-da! Potion making. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to think about potion making. So, would we be able to involve water divination and fire in this? I mean, I guess we could, because fire element magic works for amplification. So fire element divination works on fire element focuses on heat detection and amplification. And most of the time it's only as an amplifier when it's combined with other elements. So heating up stuff when you're making potions helps to amplify the effect of the herbs that are being used. And then the water the water does nothing. I think maybe we should ignore the water part for potion making question mark. I think for that. But I like where that's going. Hello Citrona, welcome home from D&D. Happy Wednesday. I hope hold on, I'm trying to think of the most horrendous way to expand D&D as an acronym. I hope that one is immediately inappropriate, so maybe I should not say that one. I hope hold on. I hope Dalgona and Danishes went well. I don't think I've never had Dalgona. It's both Dalgona like the candy, but people also made like the coffee, right? Dalgona coffee is a beverage originating from Macau. Oh. Huh. Special administrative region of the People's Republic of China. After the drink spread to South Korea, it was renamed Dalgona coffee, which is derived from the Korean sugar candy. Ah, that explains the name. Interesting. Anyway, hello, Citrona. Right now I'm tidying up the pages because after I've gotten some better nuances on how I want to do like writing style and formatting after working on using Obsidian for my personal world building, I'm kind of applying it here, and then we're kind of updating the magic system because we're working on the magic system, right? And so what we have is I'm trying to like establish that for the most part, each element has like a respective like category of like magic. And then there's special things that happens when you mix the elements. So for right now, for wood element magic has both regular divinatory but also apotropaic aspects to it. So the one main thing is the communication with plant life, but more importantly than the communication with plant life is the fact that the element of wood can be used to make protective charms, and is used as the basis for a lot of other magical artifacts and ephemera. And so the way the whole communication with plant life is relevant is that trustworthy plants tend to be more reliable plants for making magical paper and like good luck charms like wooden figurines. Um so like I have written here like aspen and birch trees are like your standard trustworthy tree and are a good go-to for paper. Also because their pulp happens to be one of the standard pulps that is used for making paper. Um And then I also have here that redwood trees are one of the most trustworthy tree species, and thus, if you use their wood, you can make good luck charms that have insane amounts of protective or lucky power. But for you to be able to harvest wood from these trees, you have to get their permission first. Um, because if you procure wood from a tree and you don't get its permission, you end up with kind of like I guess I should like write. I mean, I like briefly went over it. You get basically cursed wood, which basically reverses the effect of what you were intending. So you'd have like a bad luck charm, charm of you're more fragile, I guess, in regards to protection specific charms. Did I put? Yes, I put down that redwood trees are really hard to get permission from. Uh, I think for redwood trees, it'd be interesting if it's half. It is hard to get permission and consent to use to take their wood, but I think the other half is redwood trees are very, very difficult to understand how they communicate, which makes it hard to tell if they're giving consent or not as a result. Da, 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 da. Old ass freaks. Leaves them alone. And then I put in a section about potion making because Arson redeemed Blue Potion, and I realized we need to write potion making back into the world building. And I think it works because that means we can have like protective or like recovery potions because the element of wood is apotropaic in nature. So you can make like potions that, you know, enhance your give you an aura of protection all of a sudden. Let me go ahead and stretch my hands. Thank you, Flipped Orbit. Is there a bit about where petrified trees? What are petrified trees? You'll have to elaborate more on that. Oh, my hands. Even older ass trees? Hmm. Well, let's see. Petrified wood is the name given to a special type of fossilized wood. The fossilized remains of terrestrial vegetation. Petrifaction is the result of a tree or tree-like plants having been replaced by stone via a mineralization process. Hmm. I think I think this might be an overlap between earth and wood, but the issue is we still haven't figured out what earth and metal are focused on. I have like an idea of what I want to do for earth, but I have to like roll it over in my head and like type it out before I decide if that's what I want to do. It might. Oh, wait. I just had another thing about Earth pop into my head. It might work. Okay. But we'll have to figure out how to make that work for petrified trees. So that'll be interesting. Hi, Mika. Thank you for the lurking. Are you lurking because you have to be a little eeper? You have to, your little scientist has to go little eepies in the bed? And we have to tuck you in into bed and give you forehead kisses. Mwah, 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 mwah. Well, regardless, thank you for lurking, Mika. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. I hope your week has been good. We're up. We're working. We're drilling down this magic system. We're figuring it out. So that's wood divination. Water divination is pretty much the same. So we specified that water element magic is theorized to operate on the identification and locating of components and constituents down to a molecular level. And this one is kind of funky because there's levels of ambiguity and subjectivity, which makes water divination kind of untrustworthy inherently. Um, So where wood divination fails, if you have a plant that isn't trustworthy or you don't have plants near you at all, where water divination fails is if the closest match is too far away, and also if the area that you're using water divination in is a low humidity area. I've written I've written here that we're theorizing that this divination works because our surface of water that we're using as a compass communes with ambient water vapor and which communes and forms a chain of communing with water vapor around you up to a distance of approximately 1.5 kilometers in order to find the closest exact match, and if not, the closest approximate match. Does the water content of trees affect how trustworthy they are? Hold on, I had to drink water. I would say no. I think the idea for how trustworthy a plant species is, it should just be writing it metaphysically. When we're writing it, it should be vibes based. I don't think we should necessarily be thinking of it in relation of real world symbolism and common associations for tree species. I think we should wing it and just say a species is not good or great. So I would say oak trees are not trustworthy, just winging it based on the system. I don't think water element divination has any bearing for trees, unfortunately. I think I don't think it works. We're not gonna think about why it doesn't work. It just doesn't do. Because I guess we'd have to think of it in the same way in that living things like us generally have water in us as well. Unless we want to get freaky and say that water magic keeps us together, and without water magic, we would all turn into primordial ooze, which I don't want to think about. Like the idea that water magic is somehow also responsible for the concept of classification metaphysically is a little scary, and I don't want to think about that. It's a creepily interesting idea to entertain, but I don't think I want to entertain it. Unmagic's your water. No. Well, hold on. We could further the protective aspect of the magic system by saying you can make barriers out of water. Like a curtain of water, but it's like a whole impenetrable barrier. Mostly because the visual effects of that would be very pretty. And then we can like link that back to this really weird idea of like the weird idea we had of like water magic like keeps everything together. Can ice be used? I think it can be. It's just water in a different form. I think water in any form should be fine. So that means you can technically pull from water vapor if the environment's humid enough. You'll have to collect the water vapor, but I think it should be fine. It's just immediately going to turn into magic liquid water to form your shield of some sort. Maybe it's like water vapor is hard because you have to accumulate the same level of water to create a barrier. And then for ice, it's just you're like rapidly melting it. But at least you have the mass of water you need. It's just you're either you're just doing some crazy chanting and incantations. Melt, 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 melt. Not that, but that's essentially what you're doing, I guess. Do we wanna? Should we? Do we think we should have like water barriers, y'all? Water barriers. Hmm. 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 We like. We iffy. We like. We iffy. Remember, this is community working together to make our little world of liminal space. Hmm. Hmm. Oh my god, the licking. Okay, we'll toss it in there. Water element magic is theorized to operate on the concept of compartmentalization and boundary and boundaries. Thus, water magic. Hold on. Water magic. This water magic may also be used to form barriers. Putting yourself in ice timeout. Why are you putting yourself in ice timeout? Water may be used to create a barrier of high durability. Though the ritual to do so is time intensive. Using water in liquid form is the best way of setting up a water barrier. Water vapor takes immensely more time to collect the same mass required And ice must be melted into liquid form before it can be constituted into. Hold on. Used. Not used. Embedded. Embed. Merged? Immersed? Immersed into the barrier. Into the forming barrier. This will probably give us more basis for making even more interesting element combinations, but we'll have to see. Okay, so last that we have updated is fire. So I figured that fire magic also has two different categories that it works in. So the first category is the detection of heat, which is really funny. um, but the basis of fire divinatory in divination is to detect external heat sources. So by enchanting a flame, the flame will like flicker and pulsate when you're pointing it or holding it near another heat source, which could be a living thing. And I say could be. Your thermometer, but it's literally a fire. But we're also incorporating the like paired flame navigation thing because yes. If we spin it as where establishing that the flames are recognizing only one heat source, and that's each other, then we have the paired flames navigation spell. Miles. And then the other part of fire magic is I think I should just rename the articles to just fire magic in general. Because honestly, divinatory would magic. Okay. Okay, anyway, so fire magic, when it's combined with other elements, usually it's more for like amplification. So the biggest example we have right now is the enchanted contract. So the way it works is by combining wood, water, and fire because we're sexy here, and we're so good at elemental combinations. So we have the paper, which is made from trustworthy trees, which places protection on you somehow. We don't think about it. The water is in the ink, so the magical ink has memory of you. And then the fire part is well, the fire. Okay, so the water, the magical ink is recording like a memory of you because it's like that's how water magically fundamentally works, right? It's like identifying constituents, components, even groups of components together. And so that's what the water component of this spell is doing. And we do not need to think about what makes a human being unique from a different human being because that's a whole other can of worms. magic works in unusual ways. um, but then fire, by burning a contract, we create a flame that uses the amplified power of the water aspect of the spell. And so the flame will point towards, what do I have written down? It will point strongly in the direction of the traveler that has signed that contract with that ink. But it is a one-time use if you burn it, so you do have to remake a new contract for safety reasons, because it also works as protection. So now we have to figure out metal and earth, and then we have to figure out potion making specifics and other elemental combinations. This is definitely a lot more free form writing and like explaining how the magic works. And I guess this is fine. Citrona, are you done with your ice timeout yet? Da, 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 da. Ah, bah, bah, bah. You're now full of soup, hooray. I think the potion making thing is present as an alternative to the good luck charms because it's hard to get magical wood. Because, like, telling a tree to be like, hey, baby, can I, like, cut off your branch so I can use it for magic paper or magic wood is a little like, I'm pretty sure most trees would be like, mm, let's go out for dinner. Let's get to know each other first before we like, I say yes. So that's why we have potion making, so we can make temporary potions that give you protective charm and good luck because of that. Temporary versus holding little luck charm for long-term protection. I'm so good at this. Okay, so we have earth and metal. Okay. So in Wuxing, hold on. I forgot the tones on this already. In Wuxing, there are the 5 phases have like an associated yin and yang. So I believe wood and fire are yin. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Hold on, I have to verify this. I'm verifying. Yang, sorry. They're yang. I believe fire and wood are yang. Metal and metal and water. Metal and water are yin. I hold on. Hold on. How's yin yangs? Hold on. Yin yang. So water and metal are yin, while fire and wood are yang. And then earth is like a balanced. On this page of Earth and Wu Xing, it says that Earth is the key balance of both yin and yang in the Wu Xing philosophy, as well as the changing or central point of physical matter or a subject. Its motion is centralizing and its energy is stabilizing and conserving. And I'm going to skip this because I did reshuffle the playlist and we already listened to this already. I think for the earth element, we're going to make it a little OP. It's going to be about space. So we have liminal chalk that can form spatial portals, right? Because you can use liminal chalk to get back to liminal space, right? And it actually, I think I had it written on the original world building documents or written somewhere that cairns, so cairns are like stacks or piles of stones. And these piles of stone um are used as markers in the liminal space because they stabilize the constantly shifting non-Euclidean geometry of certain spaces. So, like, you can use cairns to mark out a path through the liminal space, and the space outside of those paths will change and distort, compress, and expand, but the path itself will always stay consistent and Euclidean. So then from there, God forbid, is figuring out what else we can do with Earth as a magic and what else it might do in combination with other stuff. For example, the petrified trees that Citrona talked about. What can you use? Could you do anything with like these petrified trees or like maybe petrified trees are rare and because they're both wood and earth, you have a really rare lucky charm. Maybe you can't ask the tree for permission anymore because it's like the anima in it is has passed on. It's dead, but the luck and magical power within it remains. So it's both a protective charm, but because it can also be used for earth magic, you can also use it as like a portable like a portable lodestone that stabilizes the space, the geometry of space-time around you, which is kind of like OP, if I'm being honest. But you know, in this world, we're all about safety while traversing the out of bounds. So we might do that. So let's go over to rewrite as magic, and then I have to make sure. Okay, yeah, I have to fix this. Change this to that. Earth magic. Hold on, it's acting weird. Be nice to me. Come on, be nice to me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we have to fix this too because it's going to try to do that later. Okay, so Earth element magic is rare and difficult to cast, or it focuses on the manipulation of space-time. Because it focuses on the manipulation of space-time for lack of better understanding. Many different stones and minerals found throughout the out of bounds. Space-time stabilizing or space-time distorting properties. Hold on. Define red. Sure. Or space-time. Yeah, sure. Can I do that? Space-time hyphen stabilizing or hyphen distorting. Because I've seen it done as like red, like constant A hyphen and B hyphen thing. Can I do it, but the word on the other side? Yeah, it should be fine. Let's take out the distorting part for now. Cairns are set out as trail markers in many liminal spaces because the cairns stabilize the surrounding geometry back into Euclidean spaces. I think we'll change it from rare to just enigmatic. There we go. And then liminal chalk is a unique application of earth magic invented by Ingham Wald. Do that, and it should. Never mind, it hates me. I'm just going to turn this into a normal link. Hold on, actually, let me go to where. What is this? The out of bounds? You turn into something instead. Okay, bitch. Okay. Liminal chalk. I'm fine. I'm still fine. Liminal percent 20 chalk. Very good. Yay. Wow. Wow, look at our little graphy so far. Hold on. Hold on. We gotta look at the animation. Go, animate. Wow, look at it go. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Anyway, should I write about the chalk next? Should we figure out metal? Maybe we should figure out metal. I don't know what metal would be for. What can we do with metal? Metal. I don't know. Do any of y'all have any ideas what we could do for metal? I feel like. Okay, let's remember our acronym PIG. Protection, Information, and Guidance. It would be really funny if he used metal as like future seeing stuff. But also I'm like, how good? OP? I don't know. I don't know what the wording will be for it. If it'll be like too OP. But then that's where we put restrictions on it and whatnot. We, we may alternatively refer to this magic as divination in most cases. Metal. 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 Metal is the return or the declining stage and is associated with the west, dusk, autumn, loss, grief, and the white tiger. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. I have to think about this. This one will be a toughie for sure. Hmm. Uh, I'm thinking so hard right now. So our PIG acronym is protection, information, and guidance. So we have protection in the form of wood magic, good luck charms, and in water magic, literal barriers of water. Information, wood magic, we're talking with plant, water, fire as well. Oh, there's also protection in earth magic in the way it protects us from the non-Euclidean geometry of liminal space. Guidance, we have water and fire are more of the guidance oriented ones, but you could also argue that earth is guidance oriented in the way that it stabilizes the spaces and makes navigation easier. Should we add navigation to this list? Because then it would make the acronym PING. Get pinged. The other way we could think about this is like, if we had a piece of metal or whatever, like, what do we want to envision ourselves doing with said piece of metal? Because like the idea for like the wood element was like thinking about talking to plants and like this idea of like talking to plants that'll just talk back by shaking and whatever was funny, but also like interesting. And then thinking about flames doing flame stuff for like detecting heat sources and being able to connect flames together so that they're paired together. Um, I just can't think of how I would want it to work for metal. What cool things could we get from having metal? uh, I'm also looking at like the whooshing cycle. Like the generative cycle is wood feeds fire, fire produces earth, earth bears metal, metal collects filters and purifies water, and water nourishes wood. So I'm also thinking if we can like use the cycle in kind of a way to think about what metal could be. Hmm. Hmm. Fire produces. Okay, well, wood feeds fire. I mean, that one works pretty well in a literal sense, in that a lot of wood-based things can be burned, which would amplify the effect. So if you do enchanted flames and you burn a good luck charm, you would be like really amplifying the effects, but then it'd be like used up as a result. A sacrifice in exchange for an amplified effect, I suppose. Also, those things are expensive to make and really hard to get a hold of. And then fire produces earth. Uh, something, something, the way that the fire element amplifies all other magics related to earth. Earth bears metal. We haven't figured what metal is first, but water nourishes wood. Well, now I'm going to think about the thing about Citrona asking if the water content of trees affects how trustworthy they are. Actually, no, it's just the thing of water defines living things. And without water, we'd lose definition. There you go. That one is solved. We're so good at this. So metal is between fire and no, it's between earth and water. Interestingly enough. So water is about compartmentalization and also allows us to access. It's not memories exactly. Uh, mm, uh, hmm. Hmm. I'm going to drink water. Ugh. What if we took the ability of to make shields and barriers and we took that from water and gave it to metal? So you'd have literal metal shields. And then to water, we give, because I was thinking about something about memories and like recording memories or something. And then to water, we give the ability to view past memories. Thinking about Lapis Lazuli from Steven Universe when she does the thing at the galaxy warp. The only reason why I move it to water is because water would be a case is leads into wood in the cycle, and trees and stuff have memories. So then the whole recording, recording memory thing for water would kind of make sense in that case. Water has memory. something something frozen too. Hmm. And then maybe we could just do metal as like the recorder, the camera, like a mirror. Although mirrors would probably be more Earth adjacent because of gems and stuff, but we're not going to think about that right now. Hmm. This is a toughie. Hmm. Well, I'm going to read the synopsis again for Frozen 2 while I maybe turn my mind away from this for a moment. Hmm. Huh. Hmm. I feel like I should rewatch Frozen 2 reading through this entire plot synopsis again. I feel like Frozen 2 is like pretty okay as a sequel, honestly. But I feel like sequel movies can be interesting, and then there are movies that have like a really long franchise, like Despicable Me or whatever. I feel like Frozen 2 is pretty okay as a sequel. But maybe that's just me personally. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see, we're at 2 hours of stream. Okay. Ooh, this was hard. They gave. Okay. Let me open up the page so it at least exists for the time being. Metal element magic dot dot dot. And now I just leave this open while I think. I don't know. I guess we can write about potion making in the meantime. Potion making, come here. Oh, I forgot it does that in the thing. We'll do it over here. Okay. Potion king. Let me check the backlink on this. Yeah, let me fix that. So this is not. Let's do that. There we go. Very good. Potion making. Making potions imbues the protective or lucky power contained within certain herbs. through the existence of wood, through the propagation of wood magic, and drinkable potions and edible cuisine. And drinkable potions. Okay, potion making imbues, blah blah blah. And drinkable concoctions. This field, career, this hobby, job, the vocation. This, I don't know what the exact word I'm looking for here is. This blank blank has been extended to gastronomy, allowing for more palatable dishes to be created while still using the apotropaic nature of that herb. Apotropaic magic. Cool. That's a good start. We can add this as to our dictionary. This career, this craft. Maybe it's just craft. Maybe I'm looking for just craft. This craft can be extended. This pursuit, occupation. This expertise, this skill. I'll just say craft for now. Unfortunately, I don't have any specifics on what I want to write specifically about potions just yet. I know I used to have like pretty extensive lore on making potions, and that was also in like my personal world building too. And then I got fully removed at some point. I guess it doesn't matter. Hee hee hoo hoo. Because potion making at that time was like heavily integrated with the magic system I had for the personal world building, so I can't really like use that here. We have to think in terms of this wuxing element system, which makes things a little more difficult, I think. Like we know how wood fits in this, and then using fire to heat it up is like amplifying the effect. Potions arose as a way to provide protective and lucky charm without relying on the to obtain difficult to on wooden charms of which the wood is of which magical wood is difficult to procure. Defects bestowed by magical potions is temporary, unfortunately. Hmm. There should be botanical records on trees, and then in potion making, we should have botanical records on herbs. And then we can describe specific herbs and what protections they provide in this specific page. Yeah, okay. I am going to go use the restroom because I think I've been chugging a good amount of water. So I will BRB for a moment to go pee, and maybe stepping away from my screen will like help me get more ideas for metal magic. We'll see. So we'll BRB. Okay, we are back. I still don't have any ideas on metal element magic. So, he. I do think we can start adding to botanical records on Earth, so we can have a section about mushrooms. We can say that many species of mushrooms that are edible as toxic mushrooms will obviously cause things worse than bad luck. May be used to make potions. May be used to make blue potion. We should probably write this here. Blue potions. Blue potions mainly brewed with mushrooms. Imbue magical energy in the drinker. Consumer? In the consumer. And amplify the strength and reaction of any divinatory magic cast while the potion's effects are active. So unfortunate to say, but for anyone in chat that hates eating mushrooms or hates the taste of mushrooms, alas, magic power restoring potions are mainly made with mushrooms in this world building. So haha hee hee hoo hoo. And then down here in the botanical records, this is because mushrooms as decompositors feed on other life Well, that's a little inaccurate to say for decomposers, but break down dead organisms and absorb the magical essence contained. I wonder if we should include back in the wood magic session, should we say that mushrooms are not trustworthy at all? Like, they have memories. They're consuming dead things and they are absorbing the magical essence, and technically with how this magic system works, the memories and information contained in those organisms, but because of how decomposers tend to work and systems of like mycelium and colonies and stuff, you're not going to get like coherent information or data out of them. Like it's going to be just garbled information that comes out of them, you know? And unless you can like you have the patience to sift through all the information that it could vomit at you, you're not gonna get anything like useful from them. Like you have to be like advanced wood element divination master to like know how to sift through mushroom speak. Mushrooms are considered fully untrustworthy because by feeding on dead organisms, untrustworthy period. By feeding on dead organisms, they absorb remnant magical essence and any contained memories and information from them. In your feet, perfume. Is that what we said? Yeah, memories and information. Any response they give generally ends up being a random conglomeration of whatever fractured memories are in their system, and only a well-seasoned, I feel like divinator is not like the term I'm looking for here. Actually it is. Divinator would be able to sift through the communication to find any like not legible define discernible. Let's use discernible. Finding discernible information. Hold on. Is that actually what happens when I go into a reading mode? Let me check. Hold on. I never noticed that it does the weird updating formatting on like line spacing and whatnot, which is like cool, I guess, but also like, uh, uh it does make it more readable that way, I feel. Very nice. Oh my gosh, we can actually write side effects. Excess consumption of blue potions can cause temporary hallucinations believed to result from the remnant memories stored within the ingredient mushroom. Oh, how fun. Now there's side effects to the blue potions. So that means y'all should be very careful if you redeem blue potions. If you consume too much, you'll get hallucinations. You wouldn't want that, would you? I feel like a lot of you would actually say yes. So if some of y'all would take the chance to get high as fuck. I guess I can't fault you for that, but uh, be careful what mushrooms you use. Well, anyway, that aside, I still don't know what I'd want to do for metal. I think metal's going to be the hard one to figure out for this magic system. Da, 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 da. It's tough because I really feel like metal and earth have a lot of overlaps in general. Really. So it's really interesting, really difficult to work with like earth and metal being a separate thing. I wonder if like I can find anything in like TV tropes about whooshing. Whooshing, please. Please. For change and destroying. So maybe I can think of it as like the declining stage. Apparently water is considered the low point of matter, matter's dying or hiding stage. Oh. Hmm. Decline, grieve, emotion stabilizing, mood rings. I'm not like entirely against the idea of working with mood rings as like the idea of metal magic being like emotional resonance type shit. Honestly, hmm. still thinking. I'm like not really against it, honestly. But we could also alternatively put that under the good luck charms of wood magic. Do have TV tropes open. I don't know if there's anything here. This opus magnum. Ah, okay. Well, anyway, anything about whooshing, please? Hmm. I guess I could just start. Hmm. I don't know. I'm not entirely convinced still. Like, I will side tangent for a moment to look at incense. Aromatic plant materials. Awesome. Cool. We're gonna put incense under fire. Protection incense. Incense made from aromatic plants, and we're going to make this a link that leads to wood magic. Oh, you know, there is all this, right? Eh. I should also make sure to go back to potion making to add that fire is used also to help amplify potion effects. Alright, incense made from aromatic plants can be burnt to release the protective magic stored within, blessing the environment with a lovely scent and some extra protection when needed. Okay, potion making, but the incorporation of fire magic help to amplify the power, amplify even a meager amount of power contained in the base herb. There. That's kind of, I think it's pretty heavily relevant enough to potion making that it should be linked. Doing that because I like to see it reset properly. We haven't written about chalk yet. But we also haven't written about metal magic yet either, so... you know. Hmm. Hmm. Metal... I mean, luck is already under wood too. I have an idea. It does still fall under protection though. But then in that case, I think it's something that should apply more to wood, because the same idea would work. Because it would be the idea that the charm will break once it's absorbed too much. Or once it's been used up too much, basically. Once its power has been used up. I.e., it has absorbed an excess amount of bad luck. Or which may be interpreted as it having absorbed an excess amount of bad luck. Well, eventually. Okay. Okay, back to the drawing board. It's midnight. Hi, Chimpy. Thank you for the 5-stream streak. I hope you're doing well. It's officially Thursday now. Happy Thursday. Hello. Apparently doing some really deep thinking to tie this together in the world building. Who knew metal could be so difficult to figure out? Hmm. I'm gonna sip on water while I keep thinking. Oh. What has metals? It could be like pens, iron, magnetism, magnet, electronics, weapons, and armor. What can we do with that? What can we do with that? Hmm. I know somewhere deep in my brain, there's something I can use for this. I'll type some of the stuff I said out loud also. We have metal, gold, money, pens, magnets, iron, weapons, armor. A gravy boat, stainless steel. Okay, thank you. Hmm. Let's see. What is up? What is communication with plants and apotropaic magic in general? Fire is element magnification and heat sensing, which extrapolates to like life form sensing. Earth is space time stabilizing, especially for liminal space. Water is water is dowsing, essentially, reverse dowsing and barrier forming. You're fighting off a cold at the moment, but that hasn't stopped you from making stickers in between napping. Go back to sleep. Thank you for stopping by, Chimpy, but go nap, go have more nappy, drink more water, consume vitamin C, please. I hope you get better soon. Hopefully it's not too bad of a cold, but please make sure to rest up. Rest. Hmm. There's stuff about electricity and heat and the Fermi levels on this. Okay. Uh, crystal structures. Crystal structure. Crystal structure. Electricity and heat. I'm just grabbing whatever stands out to me as like keywords about metal that might help me here. Metals and alloys. You've been on a sticker idea bender and you just so happened to find an artist who is awake at this hour who draws very cutely. Nice. I am not. I've only made merch once, which was last year, so I'm not really someone who's good at like making merch ideas, unfortunately. Hopefully I have more chances in the future to make more merch, but it's not something I'm super familiar with, unfortunately. Alloys specially designed for highly demanding applications such as jet engines may contain more than 10 elements. Fascinating. Okay. I don't think that is helping me ring a bell yet. You can DM me the PNGs so I can see them if I want. Yeah, sure. I'd appreciate it. My brain's kind of stuck right now anyways, because I can't figure out how to overcome this roadblock at the moment. So I will gladly love to look while I keep thinking about this. Metalworking! Oh, is that 25%? I'm getting close to end of stream, so we'll be okay. I'll definitely will end at 3 hours, especially because I'm running out of ideas to work on. I think next week what we'll do is we'll start working on populating the liminal spaces with fauna and flora. We'll have to port over some of the ones from the original lore documents, but that'll be fun. See the DMs. Wee, so cute. Oh my god, that one is cute. The second one that you sent me is cute. I like that one. Oh, this one's also cute. Oh, but this one's also cute. These are all just cute in general. Okay. These are all just really cute. Man, these are all really good. I had an idea of like metal molding to form a shape. Then I also thought about metal vibrating for like, because I'm thinking about like senses, like sensation, perception, using different senses to perceive things and get information, right? Dun, 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 dun. I mentioned Karen's right. Okay, here. Cairns around the and do need to be replaced or fortified or even fully replaced occasionally. as these stones will also fracture after long-term absorption of some of the unknown energies that make the out of bounds non-Euclidean. Will fracture in parentheses, or at least need recharging. Okay, what were the ideas I had? Hold on. Metal. Vibrating metal? Unfortunately, this makes it sound like I'm talking about a vibrator that's made of metal. Metal that molds, reshape itself into something. I really want to like at least get some semblance of this figured out before I end stream tonight. This is a toughie. I have an ad break in 4 minutes, so I'll let myself think until after that ad break happens. I just realized it's not related to metal, but I suppose water can still synergize with fire, because I was like, how is fire going to synergize with water? I guess technically it synergizes because you'd be making water vapor by heating up the water. Which also adds to the whole sacrificing thing for, that fire magic has, because you're essentially turning that water into non-useful water anymore. It's ambient water vapor now, which helps for like, especially if you're in a low humidity environment, it'll decrease the time it takes for the water reverse compass ritual to work. Which is pretty good, but then again, you're using up water, especially because in a low humidity environment, that does mean you'd be using water from your own like source of water from like drinking or something. Anyway, back to this metal. I wonder if it's like a wiki of superpowers that isn't on fandom, because that would be great. Oh, it's the fandom wiki is the only most elaborate one, but it's almost 29k pages. Hmm. Burping. This one is really tough. Uh, okay, ad break starts in less than 30 seconds. Hmm. 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 Ah. 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 I thought I had another idea for metal that I should have at least written down, but I'm not sure now. There's some sort of like property we could sense with metal that isn't something else that we have. Considering waters like in can go down to chemical components, fires quite literally heat. Hmm. Well, we did just have our ad break finish. It's already 3 hours of stream. So I guess we'll wrap up here and maybe I'll just have to sit on it for the next week or so and maybe some ideas will pop in. Or not necessarily just ideas, but maybe I'll be like, ooh, maybe this is like something good that could work for me. So I guess for now we'll go ahead and wrap up. So thank you everyone for chilling with us. Let me go ahead and bring us back over here. Make sure file's on. Okay, I know this was literally the first song of the night, so I'll skip this one actually. Oh, not rebuild the city. Oh my god, go away. Okay, cool. But yeah, thank you everyone for chilling with us. I know this is another slow and steady night of world building. We're getting somewhere with the magic system, but hopefully we can add some other cute stuff to the liminal space world building next week. And then maybe after that, we can maybe make illustrations specifically about the liminal space world building while I juggle my personal project as well, I guess. But yeah, thank you everyone for chilling with us here. If you've enjoyed the vibes here at our lovely inn in liminal space and want to follow, maybe consider following. We do have two Discord servers. The first one that'll be sent here by my lovely chatbot will be the one to my Discord server that's specifically just for this Twitch channel. So for announcements, for when I stream, that is the one that you should go into. for that, along with posts that I put on social media for like art and stuff. I do also have this Discord server for my stream team of friends, me, Bone, Citrona, and Mika. We're also pretty active in that one and paying attention to that server as well. So if you want to just get stream announcements just from every one of us, if you follow us all, then you can also alternatively just do that stream server instead. And then, of course, as always, Blue Sky, Tumblr, Instagram are my go-to social media platforms if you ever need to catch my art. And finally, don't forget to explore and get your stamp for the stream. Oh my god, I'm almost at 300. Holy moly. Oh yeah, that's the question of the day. Because at the beginning of stream, I was talking about this rhythm game that I played that I watched my friend play on stream. The typing rhythm game called Off the Text, which is horrendous if you're not a touch typer. So watching my friend play it, he tried his best, but he is not a touch typer, as it so turns out. And I was like, oh, that explains a lot because he plays a lot of rhythm games on stream, and I was like, oh, he's trying his best with this one. And it is also half partially because the um half partially because the game is still in development, so a bit of the UIs and timing is a little wonky, and you currently can't adjust like latency and timing and stuff for inputs just yet, as is normal in most rhythm games. You'd be really bad at the typing game because you can't do numbers and symbols and capitalization efficiently. If we're talking about the final sentence one that I sent, I know apparently in final sentence they said that capitalization doesn't matter based on my rhythm game friend switching over to that game like right after and immediately um, I saw that pop up and I guess what were like the tutorial sentences and I was like, oh, okay. You saw Northern Lion Plant? Ah, I see. I think this is probably only like the second time that I've heard of its existence because I felt like I've seen like the typewriter elsewhere before, but this otherwise has not entered my realm of knowledge until like tonight after my friend played that typing rhythm game. Which it would be really funny if I played it really briefly to show y'all. But I'm also like, I should. I don't want to open Steam right now. And then also the windowed mode for the game is kind of iffy. It's like can't really. I don't really want to deal with that because you can't like choose the resolution right now, unfortunately. So you can't specify. So it's like the windowed format is a lot smaller than 1280 by 720, unfortunately. But in any case, let's go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to send y'all over to someone who's co-working, so some very nice chill vibes. We will be raiding Bread Botnik again. He's doing some more lovely co-working. I'm not sure if he's doing more 3D art or if they're working on something else, but let's go ahead and say hi to Bread again. I have prepared some custom raid messages, as I talked about. I think I mentioned this on Monday. But we do have a custom raid message for Nick now. Our N loves bread, and so we fly. Your 3D art we shall now descry. That doesn't seem right. Well, unfortunately, that's what we have, so we're gonna use that. Because I'm pretty sure I was trying to write that raid message to be something about like, we want bread. You're not bread, but we will love your art regardless. But I guess I think I was like having trouble writing this one honestly. But in any case, this is the raid message we'll be using. Let me go say hi to Bread. I'll use the popcorn emote for this one. Popcorn. But yes, please copy and paste this raid message once we get over to Brad Botnick's stream. Please only paste it once, don't spam it. If you don't have a subscription, you can always choose an emote to unlock for 80 channel points in power-ups and rewards. Allows you to pick one of my Twitch tier 1 sub emotes that's static, none of the animated ones, that you can unlock and use across Twitch for 24 hours only. But yeah. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you all. We'll see you all on Saturday to continue Mega Man Battle Network 3 and stop more net crime as an elementary school student. But yeah. Thank you, Arson, Flipped Orbit, Magic, White, Citrona, Mika, and Chimpy, and anyone else that was maybe lurking, maybe didn't make their presence known. We appreciate you all very much, even our lurkers. It is lights out for me at least, so I will say goodnight to you all. Have a good night. Tuck yourself into bed. Make sure to rest up very well. If it isn't nighttime for you, naps are always good. Nap time is always around the corner. But please make sure to rest in general. Get some good food, water, and rest regardless. And I'll see you all on Saturday. Hee hoo 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 hee hee hoo hoo. I still haven't motivated myself to work on art off stream yet, and it's really sad. I don't know what I need in order to like motivate myself to work on art still off stream. I know I want to do studies. I want to figure out how I should render blood and make sure I'm rendering blood and rendering VFX for my personal world building and blah 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 blah. But I'm like, the motivation isn't there. I'm just so tired. And it's getting colder finally, but it's also getting rainy. That's gonna affect it. We'll see. Anyway, we're gonna go say hi to Bread. Bye everyone. Mwah, mwah, mwah.